All right, and we're live after a little bit of delay and a little bit of a freak out there, but we're back. We're back. We're professionals. We got this going on. So, we are back. Today is what? Sunday. Everybody's probably feeling similarly, losing track of the days. Today would be Sunday, March 29th. And it is just about after 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time, which means it's either time to go outside and howl. Has anybody seen that on the Facebook? I was invited to a group at 8 p.m. your local time. Go outside and howl. I didn't reply, but I was going to say I'm too busy doing a show. But ow, there's my howl instead. All right. Got a couple of guests lined up for today. I think this is our first Sunday show. We just felt that it was so important that it would be worthwhile to do a show 7 days a week. So we're really trying. My family's been very cooperative here. The guests that I've lined up have been very cooperative and very generous to join us on a Sunday evening, Sunday night here in Indiana is where we are. All right. So without further ado, let me try and work this. Yesterday we had no problem working the whole new system. So let's see if I can just bring up the volume here and tap guest in, and there she is. Good evening, Dawn Chaya. Yeah, you see that, don't you?
Yeah, I can see myself. Hey, Ron, how are you?
I'm doing well. I had made the promise when we were on together last time that you would be back, and I thought, well, it's been a few days. Gotta wait, gotta wait. It was almost 2 weeks ago that we were on your birthday.
Yeah, I was episode number 2, and now look at me. What are we on, 13 now?
Yes, let's make sure it's not
Okay,
unlucky. I guess the start was a little unlucky with your camera falling from its perch or wherever it was, but you're looking very
I
good now.
got it. Got it taped up.
All
We're
right.
good to go.
All right, excellent. Let me make sure I got a good volume for you and for me. So, what's been going on? If anybody missed our original episode number 2, they can always go back and watch it. But just a quick summary: when Dawn was on, number one, it was her birthday. It was St. Patrick's Day, and we talked a little bit about the work that she does at a major supermarket in the area, and just some of the craziness that had been seen. How's it going now? Over 2 weeks since we last spoke. What's the latest?
There's some big differences that have been happening and some not so big differences. The not so big differences, of course, are your 35 phone calls a day to ask, hey, do you have any toilet paper? Hey, do you have any hand sanitizer? What about Lysol? None of that is still readily available. But I am happy to report that typical items like your breads and your eggs and your milk are pretty much on the shelf most of the time. What has drastically changed is the amount of people that are actually coming inside the store on a daily basis. I feel a lot of times our busiest times are the first thing in the morning because I think everybody is thinking, if I get there first, I'm going to be okay. So that's kind of what's been going down now.
Are they keeping 6 feet apart when they're stampeding, or rather, coming into the store in an orderly fashion?
Most people are being very, they're looking around to make sure that people are not too close to them. Even when I have to run from point A to point B, I think they kind of veer off a little bit to the side, just stay a little bit away from me. I mean, I understand that completely. I'm still getting friendly people there every day, but I'm starting to feel a little bit of tension in people. I think maybe a little bit of stir crazy is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels good for them to get out, but it also makes them a little bit crazy and anxious because putting themselves in the risk of being in a supermarket in the middle of this is kind of a crazy place to be.
If you think about it, it's the only place that I've been really in the past week or so, I guess, is shopping. I assume that should be
Right.
the same thing for most people.
Right. Right.
Have you been
Um,
finding a lot of rubber gloves or used masks laying out in the parking lot of the store?
yeah, not just in the parking lot though. Like they're gonna wipe their shopping carts down and they throw them in the cart just to leave them in their gloves or there's cup holders in most of our shopping carts. They will leave those things just in there for us to clean out for them, which is to me it's kind of disrespectful. But we take care of it so it's ready for the next person to come in and shop.
You haven't seen any people's nerves getting frayed and acting out or being disrespectful, have you? People generally well behaved or no?
Generally, I would like to say yes. Me personally have had a couple bad incidences in the last 2 times I've been at the store. We won't go into any of that in any detail, but mostly everybody is still keeping their cool and is pretty nice to us that are there. And most of them do want to say thank you for us for being there and making it possible for them to get the stuff that they need for them and their families.
Hmm. Yeah, people refer to doctors, nurses, emergency room, hospital people as being on the front lines, but I think just as much, if not more, the number of people that a cashier would see in a day exceeds, I think, what a doctor would see. And there's an unknown whether there's, I don't know. No, again, I said it earlier. No one's been through this before, but and I don't want to try and make one person out to be more of a hero or better than another, but it's definitely hard work to deal with people in close proximity in these situations.
Right. And the one thing I think that is a major difference in between people being at a grocery store as opposed to being maybe in the hospital setting,
Hmm.
um, everything's sterilized nicely in a hospital. You know, you're protected with your face mask, your yellow jackets to keep you away from germs and all that kind of stuff. Our cashiers, they can wear a face mask, they can wear gloves. I've been hearing that the gloves are not the best thing to be doing because they carry more germs than actually just washing your hands. At Jewel, they've started doing every hour like mandatory hand washing. So you got to go step in for a cashier, make them go wash their hands, they can come back
Hmm.
and kind of be somewhat germ free. The one thing they did do as a corporation is they put plexiglass up between the cashier and the customer to keep a little bit of that contact down.
No, I didn't see that. I assume that would do well if somebody were to inadvertently sneeze or cough significantly. And the thing is that what are they? This whole 2 week thing was because that was the incubation time from when you may have been exposed to about the longest that you would until you got it. But it sounds like the average has really been about 5 days from things that I've been reading. Again, neither you nor I are doctors, but someone could be walking around
Right.
for 5 to 14 days, have no idea. All right, that's the scary thing I've
Right.
been
Some
finding.
people, I think, some react much differently to this virus than others. Am I right?
Yeah, from what I understand, right, asymptomatic or yeah, or full on in the hospital with pneumonia, both lungs filling up with liquid, right?
Exactly. I do usually, Ron, you want to talk about your special guest that you have. I have a special guest here with me tonight. If I'd like to give her a little shout out.
Sure, if
Um,
you're stand to hold.
first, let's just
Holy cow! Hello, Claire.
say hi. Can you say hi? Huh? Look at. Say hi, Uncle Ron.
You
She was a
yeah,
little bit nervous about doing.
you're having more fun
She was
than
a little bit.
everybody here.
Yeah, she got a big smile. That's good. We got a big smile from her, so it's not that hard, right, babe?
No,
This
no.
one here, she's going a little bit stir crazy. She likes to be out and about and going shopping and doing things, eating dinner with you guys and with Grandma Cookie. So now with being out of school until May 1st, which means she's also out of her day program, which she goes 2 days a week.
Hmm.
She's stuck with her mom or her dad most of the time.
Hey, Claire, ask Claire a question. Ask Claire if she can get Miss D on for us, maybe one of her teachers there. Wouldn't that be a good one? A good show, Claire? Maybe you and Miss D would come on.
Would you want Miss D? Griffith Miss D or Calumet High School Miss D?
Hey, either one.
Huh? Which one do you want? Which one? You don't know?
Yeah. Hey, Claire,
you need the
I don't know if you can see the comments over there, but Suzanne Smolin says, hi, Claire. Hello, Ron and Dawn. Our first person to comment, I always like to mention.
Where's Mitchell and Jack today? Usually they're on there talking.
Oh, hiding in the background. Yeah, I'm sorry, Claire and Dawn. I really forgot. I should definitely have checked my temperature before we started the show so I don't expose you to any fever, possibly. Yep, there we go. 97 point. You
And
got
we
this.
were thinking the same thing. Allow me to get Claire, right? She looks fine. We're gonna be good over here. I've got two of them, Ron. I brought this one and a regular old under the tongue thermometer because I'm not high class like you.
That could take 3 minutes. It's funny that thermometers are, all joking aside, thermometers are hard to find. And I bought this one like a week before the ship hit the sand because we didn't have one here, and I thought Mitch had a fever. But yeah, I bought. There were a few of them there. We saw them for what, $100 or something. People gouging you for them online.
Yeah.
No, it
Right.
was
Well, I
actually free.
$49.
Yeah.
They wanted to ship it to me for $50 though. It was a $49 thermometer, but they wanted to ship it for 50. But we're just gonna hold off on that. That's
No.
another one of those things that are up there for phone calls at the grocery store. Are you guys out of thermometers?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Are you out
Sorry
of
about that.
flour?
And face and rubber gloves.
Flour?
Oh,
Yeast?
we have flour. I bought some the other day. We made some pan cookies. They
Ah,
were pretty good,
ah. I'm seeing a
right?
lot of places that are out of flour and yeast. People doing a lot of baking.
Yeah, yeah. I got to tell you one thing about this, Ron, because I kind of have the in here. You know, when I go to Jewel,
Hmm.
I kind of get first dibs on things. I've kind of become like the drug dealer of toilet paper. So, like when my friends say, "Hey, Dawn, can you hook me up?" I get it to the side and I wait for him to come in and give it to him. So, you guys need any? You give me a buzz. I could probably hook you up.
Price is right.
Price is right.
All
Well, I
right.
mean, whatever. I got it. I got it.
All right, Don. Anyone you want to say? Additionally, you want to say hello to? I got a second guest. We need to roll here in a second. Anybody you want to say hi to?
Not really. I'm talking to the people that I love the most, right, Claire? Right? So I'm good. No shout outs on this end.
All right,
But I
nothing.
will tell you,
Yes.
it'll be nice to start getting things back to normal here, don't you think?
Yeah. Yep. And I think we're what 3? Is this week 3 for Indiana going? Yeah, May 1st for school,
I think
April
so.
6th or 3rd for the Hoosier Hunker Down thing. But I think that's probably going to go a little
Right.
longer.
Well, they were saying that Trump, did he say today we're going to go through the 30th now of April?
I don't want to be. Yeah, I didn't. I heard that secondhand, third hand, so I don't know for sure. But
Right.
yeah, moving it beyond the originals. Yep.
Well, I saw it on Facebook, so you know what they say. If it's on Facebook, it's got to be true.
Facebook official. All right. Hopefully, I didn't change anything there. Oh, I'm trying to wake up my computer. Should have taken off battery mode. All right, Dawn. I appreciate you coming on. Looking forward to seeing you again. Maybe another couple weeks or less. We'll see how this goes. You take care
Sure.
over there.
All right, we're gonna put you out with some music, okay, Ron?
You got it. Roll it.
That's what we got some music. Here we go.
It's back to reality.
We're ready for a little back to life, right, Claire? Good night, everybody.
See ya.
Say bye. Say bye.
All right, guys, girls. Bye now.
Bye.
All right. And with that, we are going to move on to our second guest here. Let's get that going right now. Okay, and we're back. Without any further ado, our second guest for tonight's show joins us from New Jersey. Let's give a nice warm welcome to Rod Bertoletti. Hello, Rod. How you doing tonight?
Hi, Ron. I'm doing really good. Home like everybody else. Thank you for having me tonight.
All right. Yeah, we talked a little bit about what some of the news earlier today, what was going on in New Jersey. You're in New Jersey, not too far from New York, right?
Yes, I'm about like 30, 35 minutes driving from Manhattan. And I'm, yes, in New Jersey. And we've been locked down since last Saturday. I actually like working from home for the past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just in the news yesterday, the president was talking about intervening there in the tri-state area, which would be parts of what Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York,
And
back
back,
down,
yeah, right.
back down from some of that. And as of this morning, I saw that it was just an advisory from the CDC about staying home more. But it was your governor, the New Jersey governor, I then subsequently read, who said, we're doing more than any other state is already. It sounds like it's pretty intense there to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, actually, yesterday I took the news like in a really positive way because I agree that we should be a little bit more restrictive, honestly speaking, because we are in the red zone. New York is counting thousands and thousands of people infected, where they are experiencing also an higher like percentage of deaths, which is not good. Absolutely, unfortunately. And also reading that some New Yorker, when trying to escape from this situation, which, don't make me wrong, I understand people like, fear.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So everybody is like kind of, we are not living regular days, like our routines as of now. But it really upset me seeing people leaving their home.
Mhm.
They may be infected, maybe not, but
Right.
who knows?
Yeah, no.
Leaving and going somewhere else where they think it's safer, and start like a pandemic somewhere else where these are not really started. So
I
I
saw
think,
and maybe
yeah,
going to trying to go to Florida, and I had read earlier that
yeah,
Florida was
correct.
even checking either some sort of enforcement at their borders and making sure people were not
Yes.
from out of state coming in.
Yes, because I even from what I read, even Florida is starting to experience an increase in the numbers. So sure, that's not another good news, and they try to protect, their own board.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, like to me, it's here, U.S. It's such a big country. It's like comparing. Think about comparing to the entire Europe. Okay.
Hmm.
So every single state in Europe, I'm Italian, so Italy was the first one that got infected. We did our own rules,
Hmm.
and we started first. But France, UK, Spain, that now is experiencing exactly. Spain is at the level now of Italy. They started like a week or 2 weeks later.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the presumption here in the U.S. is that it will probably progress as it had if we're not careful in Italy, and that's if people hadn't picked up from your Italian accent, you are originally from Italy. Your parents are in Italy,
Yeah,
in
I'm
northern Italy, in check my Italian, Lombardia,
Lombardia.
Lombardia, right, and near Milan
Lombardia.
in northern Italy, where kind of the ground
Right.
zero for it presently. Can you give us any insight on how day-to-day life has been for them over the
Yeah.
past month plus?
Everything started from a little tiny village outside Milan.
Hmm.
And Milan, as you said, it's the red zone in Italy, where in Lombardia, where experienced the highest number of infected and the highest number of deaths. The situation there, it's intense. It's definitely intense. So thank God, all my family, relatives, family are physically in great.
Hmm.
Nobody got affected by this from this virus, but after a month plus that somebody is locked down, and lockdown there is not what we are experiencing here. It's way more restricted.
Yeah, you
It's
mentioned
not
that.
easy.
Yeah, we're in like 2 weeks here, basically, in the U.S., in the Chicago metro area where I am and where you
Right.
are as well. They've been at it for 4, going into their 5th week, and it has gradually intensified there. You were mentioning only
Yes.
being able to get out to markets, to grocery shop with proper documentation, right?
With proper
And
documentation, so
limitations, yes.
and limitation, and the law enforcement is pretty heavy on the road, so the chance to get pulled over it's really high, and you can face a super high fine, but also and now they're not going to do anything because we are in emergency, so there is no enough law enforcement to prosecute somebody, but you're going to receive a notice from the police, and you're going to risk to go to the court, and also get charged for penal crimes,
Hmm.
which is like comparison to like a real criminal. Just to give you an idea how strict now is the situation over there, but because the numbers were completely out of control after 2 weeks of lockdown. So after 2 weeks of lockdown, they were experiencing numbers double up. They were doubling up every single day.
Hmm.
So that's why they decided like 10 days ago to restrict everything.
So it's
So
really,
like, for
really
example, my
down,
parents,
yeah, only down to just shopping. Is it really bare necessities, right?
bare necessity and only local. So which means that you have to go to your local grocery store, to your local pharmacy. You cannot take the car and drive for 10 minutes and go to another grocery store just because you need like to experience something new. You know what I mean?
Right.
Has to be in your in your area where you live.
Mhm. And
So
any insight onto, because I understood that it was primarily focused in the northern part, but it was potentially spreading down south into southern portions of Italy, or
yeah, it does. It does. That's what I was referring to even when I told you about that I'm really upset with all those New Yorkers that live in the city, because that will happen in Milan. So a lot of people from Milan that they have like a second, like a vacation home down in the south or on the coast, wherever, they started leaving their house.
Mhm.
So now they're experiencing even in the south this kind of situation. Is not big as in Lombardia
Mhm.
at all,
Yeah.
but it's starting to spreading. So they are taking the same restriction that they have in Milan.
Right.
By Italy, it's easier. Like you cannot compare Italy to the United States. When you're like talking about the United States, you're talking about like a country that is way bigger than the entire Europe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So plus it was completely different. So when the president of the Italian Republic declared state of emergency, and it's not that the governor, the local governor, can do something different, or they can choose a line, respect another one. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Everybody needs to follow that rule.
Right.
That's
That's
it.
different. And hopefully
It's different.
hopefully we don't get to that kind of national situation. It seems to be locally isolated here, but you mentioned you
on the
run into a
coast.
problem when you give authority to locals. Who knows? I mean, this is nothing that none of us have ever experienced before, so it's all very new. If we can bring it back a little bit across the ocean back to New Jersey and back specifically to your place, how are things going there? You've been working from home, you haven't been flying. You've been working. How's working from home going? Some people may hear in the background your son.
Yeah, so sorry, like as everybody else, I'm home, and my son is 4 years old, and he's pretty like a native little boy, really hyper. So he's always doing something, and I'm sorry for that. But
Oh no,
actually,
that's all part of the soundtrack of
yeah,
COVID-19.
it's all part of this kind of situation that everybody is experiencing,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So working from home actually is something that I never really experienced, if not occasionally. When you are sick and you try to do little work here and there.
Right.
But I never experienced like a full week or 10 days working from home.
Right.
It's actually interesting. It's nice. I love it.
I know you're a professional cook, a top-notch cook, and your wife
Yes.
as well. So have you been doing
Yes.
stuff, cooking as a family together, trying out any new
Yeah, we are
recipes?
doing a lot. Yes.
What's for dinner tonight?
Tonight nothing fancy, nothing really fancy. I just did like vegetable soup, nothing crazy. But it's been a week that we are eating like
Lots of pasta?
Once every couple of days,
Okay.
every other day, something like that.
Right.
I love pasta, but I'm not eating every single day like a typical Italian. Let's say it this way.
Sorry
But
to
no,
go
it's
there. I
nice.
just wanted to mention that. But I know you were giving me some tips on making pasta or making homemade ravioli,
Yes,
which I haven't gotten
yes.
into yet.
Whenever
All right.
you want.
All right. How about getting out yourself and finding anything grocery-wise, shortages, anything locally, or people being pretty well behaved and you're still able to
Yeah.
find toilet paper, say?
Yeah, that's really like something that interesting. Sounds really interesting to me. I don't know why everybody just got all those paper towels, honestly, and toilet paper.
Right.
So, but
Right.
I'm not sure why, honestly.
Yeah.
But yes, it's not been so bad.
Mhm.
I can still find. We do not like buy anything in can. We mostly buy everything fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So I do not have any problem in find produce fresh fish or meat. Of course,
Very
There is
nice.
not the variety that I can find during a regular a regular day. You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But I can still do my grocery and be creative in the kitchen
All right.
without any problem.
Maybe I'll have to
So
have you ship me something with some dried ice or something. All right, Rod, we're getting close to the amount of time that I said I was going to
okay.
ask you for. Anybody you want to say hello to, or anything you want to wrap up with?
Uh, Honestly, like I just hope that you and your family feel doing great. So good luck to everybody,
Hmm.
because we really need it. Stay strong, stay positive. I'm pretty confident that we're gonna see the light soon.
Hmm.
It's gonna maybe take more than Easter. I'm pretty positive on that, but it's not the end of the world.
All
That's for
right.
sure.
We'll end on that note. Thank you for joining us. Maybe we'll check
Thank
back
you,
in with
Ron.
you as this thing drags on. Is that all right?
Yes,
All right.
thank you.
All right.
Good
Have a good
luck.
evening. Thanks for joining us.
You too. Take care. Bye.
All right. And with that, we're going to be wrapping up our show real soon here. I want to thank Rod for joining us today. All right. How'd that work out? That was a little pre-recorded. Due to scheduling difficulties, Rodrigo was not able to join us during normal show time, so we recorded that earlier. All right, I'd like to thank Dawn and Claire for coming on the show earlier. Hope to run into her on the show again, hopefully in less than 2 weeks. We got some people lined up already. We're going to be checking back in with some other guests who've appeared on the show during the prior 13 episodes. This week, we're going to be bringing in some new perspectives from different parts of the country, different parts of the area, maybe some different business or industry people as it goes along. We still want to plan a little bit of a show with some educators. They're definitely front of mind here, as well as the e-learning and the homeschooling grinds on during the lockdowns. All right, this is going to wrap up our episode 13 of Co-Video Live TV right here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll be notified when we're going to be going live. You'll be notified when we are on live. And if you're a subscriber, you then will be eligible for a little giveaway that I think we're going to be cooking up here maybe by the end of the week. So hopefully we will be seeing everybody back here tomorrow. Until then, everybody be strong, be safe. We'll talk then.